Everyone, it's Pastor Justin coming to you with our leadership and transformation video this week. We've been in a series on moral leadership, and we've been utilizing concepts both from the book by Leading Through by Kim Clark and his brother and a niece, as well as the book Speed of Trust by Stephen Covey and Robert Greenleaf's Servant Leadership. And so today I'm going to dive a little deeper into Leading Through. I'm actually going to take you to the Leading Through Institute and websites page because they have a nice diagram here. And so as you can see right here, there's three concepts that they do their leadership consulting through. And I think you will know this paradigm because it is taken directly from the Greatest Commandment. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, your mind, right? Your heart, your soul, your mind. Some texts also add your strength, depending on which gospel you're in, but I think you get the concept here. The Clark family are all members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, so they have this deep faith well that they come to leadership and business and organizational thought from. And for that, I have found a lot of beautiful things in this book of theirs called Leading Through, and wanted to provide a little insight into it today. I want to concentrate on the soul because we've been talking about moral leadership, and I want to base ourselves right here. And so you can see the soul, the cycle of virtue, realizing the strength and power of moral excellence. I want you to hear that phrase, moral excellence. And I want you to think about, did you get up this morning wondering how you were going to be more morally excellent today? My guess is that most of you did not wake up with that paradigm of thought. I certainly, when I woke up this morning, my first thoughts were not about my moral excellence. My first thoughts were about my dog, which I guess you could relate to moral excellence in some way, shape, or form, but I can tell you it wasn't my priority. And so I want you to see here what their summary of this is. The leaders people are willing to follow, and then I think this next phrase is really important, and keep following are trustworthy. They keep their commitments and consistently do what is right because it is right, even when it's hard. Do you hear that part? They consistently keep their commitments and consistently do what is right. Why? Because it is right, even when it's hard. Achieving that kind of consistency requires a set of capabilities that are connected in an ongoing cycle that produces virtue, the strength and power that comes from moral excellence. Great leaders live in this cycle, developing these capabilities and helping others do the same. Because Stephen Covey is also a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I see a lot of parallels between Leading Through and Kim Scott's viewpoints here and Stephen Covey. I think their moral and spiritual well are very similar, and it leads them to some similar language. One of those words, a part of that language, is virtue. So before Stephen Covey produced his, best-selling, all-time classic, now 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he wrote a book that was all about virtues and leading our lives according to virtues. And so I think that is part of the Latter-day Saints faith core, is talking a lot about virtues, of which I have a lot of things where I go, oh, that's really fantastic. And I think the Bible in particular would call out that same sense of soul and how that relates to those same virtues. And I think particularly within Roman Catholic and Eastern Orthodox thought, you would have a lot of words about virtue as well. Protestantism, sure, but not as much as these other traditions use this word virtue. And so I want to pull out that phrase that they use right here after virtue, the strength and power that comes from moral excellence. The strength and power that comes from moral excellence. Great leaders live in this cycle, developing these capabilities and helping others do the same. Once that soul is concentrated on, once that moral foundation is put down, then you begin moving into the heart, you begin moving into the mind, you begin thinking about what does it mean to thrive, you begin to concentrate on operationalizing the work of leadership. We'll be more on that here next week on those two things. But friends, my hope is that you will think about your soul today. You'll think about moral leadership. You'll think about virtues. And I want you to pick a virtue that you resonate with. And I want you to send me a quick message, right? You can send me a message at justin@gracecolorado.com. You can also send it to me at justin@covenantdtc.org. You can text me if you have my number. You can leave a comment right here in the video, but leave a comment with that virtue that you would like to concentrate on this week. If you're having trouble figuring out what a virtue is, you can do a simple thing, right? You can go into your Google search right here and say, give me a list of virtues, right? Just like that. You see this one right here at the top. I've got one to click on, a list of 100 virtues, right? And you can see to live more compassionately, to be in tune with others, to live without guilt or shame, and that, like, there's so many. Aristotle has virtues. The Christian faith has lots of virtues depending on the tradition you're coming from. But there's all kinds of virtues. I'm asking you to pick one and spend some time focusing in on that as you give more time and energy to establishing moral excellence, which leads to moral leadership in your life. Friends, for joining me here today for this leadership and transformation video and cast. I hope to see you tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.